Man, welcome back to another episode of the Think Successfully Room. This is a platform where we focus on building mindsets, we building character, bringing value to both you and your people, and aligning your body with your intelligence. I am your host, QB So Effing Amazing. Tiffany, you Tiff now. You Tiff on the episode
I'm
now.
Tiff. I'm
No,
part of
no
the
more
family.
Tiffany Ingram. It's Tiff now.
I'm
So,
cuz.
we gotta to me it's a very exciting episode because I sent you an article.
Yep.
Now our conversations again is based around artificial intelligence. So this particular article is about how AI helps a patient fight denial letters, right? So I tried to put together some notes to try to summarize this story the best way I can. So I'm gonna go over that real quick. So in 2021, it was a lady named Stephanie Nixdorf or Nixdorf.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think that's how you put it, Nixdorf.
Yeah.
Okay, so her and her family was in. The article talks about how her and her family was in Disney World at the time when she received a phone call, right? And the phone call was from a doctor that ran some tests about a bump on her elbow.
Yep.
Right. So I come to find out it was a skin tumor called melanoma. I believe it's the term.
Cancer. Yeah.
It's a cancer. So I'm gonna have to dig further into exactly how melanoma is created and turns into a bump. But he later did some tests and found out it was stage 4. He also found spots on her lungs, two tumors on her brain as well. So.
Yep.
If we so just based off of that, she began to get treatment immediately to treat this disease, right? So I want to say in January of 2024, her cancer began to diminish.
Yeah.
Right. So her doctor then prescribed her some medication for her arthritis. It was a different name that they had for it. To come to find out that the healthcare or the health insurance that she was covered by through her husband's employer denied her of that drug.
Yeah.
Right. So she went 9 months of being denied. Right. And her husband, Jason Nixdorf, came across a former scientist by the name of Zach. Was it Van Quillis or something? I think it was something along those years.
Dr. V.
Dr. Zach V. He came across a former scientist by the name of Zach V. And he is the co-founder of a company, right, by the name of CLAIMABLE Inc. And they operate on an AI platform. So the whole purpose of CLAIMABLE Inc. is for CLAIMABLE to generate an appeal letter for patients, right? And a lot of things that CLAIMABLE look for is clinical research, as far as history, drugs, treatment, maybe patient stories, whatever that may be, in order to construct and assemble a very comprehensive appeal letter, right?
Yeah.
And it costs you no more than $40 to have this appeal letter generated, right? So after doing the appeal letter, I want to say she received it 2 days later. And, she sent that off to the health insurance companies. And then I'm not sure exactly how the AI did it or what they worded differently, but she then began to receive her treatment because of the platform that Zach V has co-founded.
Yeah. Well, and then too, so there was a part in the story of the insurance company actually said that the claim should have never been denied in the first place.
Yeah.
It was an oversight. So I don't know if the insurance company was using some sort of AI platform that ended up in the denial, but there wasn't any human oversight to the automatic denial. It was like it came in, it was automatically denied, and then they didn't do any additional research for that. And so yeah, that was crazy. Well, yeah, on so many different levels.
So I don't think I read that part. Maybe I ain't get that far. So that makes sense though, because a lot of companies do use some type of automated system to where, it'll probably, your letter will probably come in, it'll probably generate like some type of code or digit, some type of number. Yeah. And depending on that number, it'll deny it immediately. So that is Okay, that would make sense why her appeals was getting denied
Now
almost
that's what
immediately.
they said,
Yeah.
right? You got to save face because he
Mhm,
sent it to. So I listened to the video, right?
mhm.
That came along with the article, and so her husband was talking about like he went off, like he was
Yeah,
angry, like
yeah, and it's
how how
understandable. Yeah.
how dare y'all? Because it was like the arthritis came. It sounded like, or was implied, the way I perceived it, like the arthritis was a byproduct of the chemo, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So, you know what I mean? So, how are you going to approve this treatment but deny this treatment? That,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
he was 24 karat hot. And he basically said he was like, I was screaming, like I went off. And
And
so he linked up with Mr. V, Zach,
yeah,
and he sent that to the insurance company and some other elected officials. So
yeah.
it was a whole bunch of stuff going on there.
So that story was interesting, but I guess what got to me was the fact that because she waited so long to get treatment, like that arthritis actually caused permanent damage. Like
Hmm.
that's something she got to deal with for the rest of her life because
Yeah,
it went on for so long. Like, by the grace of God, luckily she got the treatment she needed because of
yeah,
what they created. But like he was saying, I'm grateful that she has her medicine and she's able to get treated. But if it would have happened sooner, maybe she would
yeah,
not be suffering with arthritis permanently.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So now I because you brought up the fact that you did could put together an appeal letter with Chat
Hmm.
GPT. Like,
Yeah.
how comprehensive was Chat GPT, do you think, when you got your appeal letter?
I will tell you that it was comprehensive enough for me to get the approval that I needed.
Mm,
There were certain, and the reason why I say that in that manner, I actually went to an attorney to get guidance and to see if they would take my case.
mhm.
And basically, they didn't. They
Damn.
didn't. And so I was just like, do I give up? And I was like fighting with the VA.
So I'm curious, like, my fault for cutting you off too, but
Uh-uh.
when he said he couldn't do nothing, like, what was his reason for denying the case, or why he ain't want to take it?
And that part I didn't get a clear um what's the word? I didn't get a believable answer. It was just like,
Mhm.
well, you submitted for this, the VA has come back and said this. There's really nothing that we can do based upon the evidence. You've already supplied it to them. And I'm like, I know that this is service connected. I know
Right,
that
right.
as a result of me being in the military, this is a result. It was kind of similar to the lady. I have a
Mhm,
condition. There was a byproduct of that condition, and I know that's related. So you mean to tell me that this evidence that I have is sufficient?
mhm.
So what I did was I took a picture of the denial letter. I took a picture of my medical stuff because at that point I didn't mind. Like ChatGPT or whomever, if it was the attorney's office, you guys are gonna have access to my medical information anyway. Now it's a little bit different with ChatGPT because you don't know how the language model is training
Yeah.
or going to use your information, or whatever the case may be. But at that point, I'm gonna tell you, I did not care
Mm.
from that standpoint because you cannot tell me what I'm suffering with is again not related. I wasn't going. I was not taking no for an
Right,
answer.
right.
Somebody was gonna help me, and Chakisha was like, "Let's get it. Let's go."
So
It's
my fault for cutting it. Like, it's so now, while we talking about, so statistically, so when I remember when I said I went on Claimable Inc.,
hmm
right? So not only did they provide you with the steps to put together your appeal letter, but they also threw some statistics in there as well. And
hmm
one of those statistics was less than 1% of people will actually pursue an appeal,
hmm
even though they have the right to demand a fair resolution.
hmm
So like, by you not taking no for an answer, I hope that that's a message for other people. Like, if you
yeah.
being denied treatment or you need help with something and they telling you they can't help you for whatever reason, you got to continue to move forward until you get something you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Until you receive an answer you want to hear.
And again, and this is my disclaimer: ChatGPT is a tool, and I
Mhm.
will say that as long as I'm on this podcast or any other media platform or any anything that I publish, right?
Mm.
ChatGPT is the tool. Is no different than any other tool that you would use. It's no different than the computer. It's going to give you potential solutions. It is your job to flush those solutions out. And so what I mean by that is I took what ChatGPT gave me and I did a little bit more digging before I submitted it, right? But the turnaround time was quick. Like I wasn't sitting on that because we were talking about this condition being covered. And I'm like, okay, I need certain equipment. Like I need stuff. Like y'all are not going to tell me I'm gonna foot this bill. I'm not.
Right.
And so once I did my research, again, Google, Perplexity. I use Perplexity, Google, and I said, okay, this makes sense. This is accurate because again, ChatGPT is not always accurate, right? So you got to make sure if I'm submitting something to Veterans Affairs, I need to make sure that it's accurate. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I did that, and there was a few follow-up doctor's visits, but bam, they accepted it. And so I attribute ChatGPT to pointing me in the right direction because again, I could have took what that lawyer said and said, you know what, I'm all right, I'm done. I'm gonna take this L. I wasn't taking that. And so now when I'm denied different things, anything, I'm searching because again, just because you tell me no doesn't mean that that's truly a no.
Right. Absolutely. That is true. So sometimes we need to hear that then because like, obviously this is a, it's somebody that obviously they want to flip a profit, utilizing something like Claimable. But if you can get the same results using the Chat GPT, then go for it and get an appeal letter for free. So it's another thing you have brought up about that. We're gonna get into that, but before I wanna share the steps, like whether somebody want to use Chat GPT. I'm also throwing the Counterforce platform. Now they can use that. I'm not gonna dig too far into Counterforce.
Make them work. You gotta put it to work.
You know what I'm saying? But the resources there, I gave it to you. You know what I'm saying? If you need a resources and you looking for something to help you generate an appeal letter, Counterforce is another one for you to check out. Now, but when it comes to Claimable, I did write down some steps that if you do check out Claimable, I wrote down some steps that you could take to generate an appeal letter with Claimable, right? So the first one is they're going to ask you to upload denial notices and insurance information, right? That's step one. Step two is they're going to have you answer the questions that's provided by Claimable about your health, events leading up to denial letters. Step three is generating your appeal letter, right? And they do this by utilizing health stories, clinical research, and policy details as well. The step four is they mail you or either fax you your appeal letter, and they will also support you through the process, and that would only cost you $40 for them to do that. Right? But if you don't want to pay the $40, utilize ChatGPT and let ChatGPT put together a comprehensive an appeal letter for you.
And so here's the thing, right? Even with ChatGPT, it's like I said, I uploaded enough of my medical information for Chat to give me something. You need to understand how these platforms, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, even ChatGPT, how it's going to use your medical information. At that point in time, the information I provided, I wasn't concerned about it. If you're concerned about your information, you need to understand how all of these platforms are going to use it, how they store it. Right. And I would think that, when you get to, because there are going to be a lot more of these large language models that pop up that are niche specific. So Claimable sounds like a medical one that is niche specific. If you're denied housing or a home loan or a loan to buy a home, I'm quite sure there's going to be an AI tool for you for that. So
Mm-hmm.
just understanding, this is what I talk about when I tell people, understand what's happening in your industry and how AI is impacting it, because you're going to get these large language models that are specific to your industry that may give you better results than ChatGPT.
Right,
Remember,
right.
it's a jack of all trades, a master of none. ChatGPT gets a lot of information on a daily basis, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
master of a lot of information. So that you could use it and say, okay, I need to file a claim appeal. Which AI platform would be best for me, right? You
Mm.
could do that and have it narrow it down based upon, and you know that ChatGPT has the AI agent, right? That actually does stuff for you.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah.
So you can have it. I just had it do some research for me for like a grant. Like I'm looking for grants and contract opportunities. So it searched through all of this stuff. Same thing. You can use AI to find the perfect AI platform for you. But going back
But
to my original thought is just understanding how your information will be used, stored, and disposed of. Doesn't matter what you're using. You always need to understand those three.
right. So in other words, you saying ChatGPT can be used as the
Starting point.
yeah, the starting point, right? That's your main tool to search for to break down other tools. Yeah.
Or find a
Okay.
better one. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. No,
But
I
or you
like
can
that
use
idea.
it.
Yeah, or you can use it itself, or it don't even make a. So what I recommend people doing is like create some type of map, right?
Oh yeah.
Create like some type of map. If you got a what you call a bulletin board, something
Mm-hmm.
like that, write down like, look, Chat GPT is my starting point, and then point
Yep.
arrows to what you want Chat GPT to look for, and then begin to break things down like that. Now, I'm kind of anxious to get into this topic about the video you just about the scanning
Yeah.
the whole anatomy of the human body to find diseases, man.
Uh-huh.
What's to that?
So I sent it. I'm just gonna make sure my volume's down because I wanna make sure that I quote things appropriately where my notes
Okay.
at. So I sent this it was something I saw on Instagram because again, after you sent me the article, I wanted to see, okay, what's going on with AI in healthcare? Because that's typically how I move. I'll see
Yeah, yeah.
something, it'll spark my interest, and I'm like, oh, what else is happening?
Mm.
So there is an AI platform, and it is called uh Echo Health, Neko Health,
Echo
Neko
Health.
Health,
Neko.
Neko Health, right? So it's a Swedish health company, and it was started with this founder of Spotify. So what it has is this machine that people can walk into, and it scans your entire body, right?
Mm.
And it's looking for like diseases or just health issues that maybe they're diagnosed, maybe they're not. And the people that they've done this on or tried it on, they've actually found things within their body that haven't been diagnosed. So they're like 20,000 people on this wait list to do this, right? Because it's taking so many images, X amount of images of your body, scanning your skin, and all of these different things. And I was just like, what? Are y'all wait.
That is crazy. And the reason why is because I can't think of the amount of times, and I know people personally, right, that have went to a hospital that
Mm-hmm.
has got scans or whatever they do to make sure you healthy, to scan for diseases, and they
Mm-hmm.
miss something. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? It's like how did you so it's like when you go to the doctor the first time, you probably want to go to somebody else and have them do another scan to make sure they didn't miss something.
Yeah.
So to have an AI that's capable of scanning your body, your whole
Yep.
being in every way possible to make sure that I'm assuming it makes sure it detects everything.
Everything from now. Here's the thing, right? The first thing I thought of when I saw this is like, okay, how did you train this? What information did you upload? Is it everything or is it the major stuff?
Mm.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, what's the error percentage on this? Like, how did you train this model to find what are we looking for? Right. And I'm quite sure they go over all of that. But it was just like to have something already functional that's doing that. And you have 20,000, it was like over 20,000 people that are on a wait list because they want to know. Right.
And it's just the experience though, like being able to experience that can be a story to tell. It's like, and it just shows that AI is how evolved the technology is. You know what I'm saying? Like this could possibly save thousands, millions of people's lives. Because people will go to the doctor all the time and go back home thinking they don't have anything, come to find out they do have something because they missed it. And then when they finally go back to take care of it, it'd be too late. So to have something like that's looking at every angle possible and then giving you and spitting out a sheet or however they do it, like this is everything that's going on with you, and this is a description on how you can take care of it to better your health. Because I would just assume by it being AI, not only is it going to tell you what's wrong with you, but it's going to have bulleted points for everything on how
that you need to do.
What you need to change in order for you to continue to live a healthy life. So that's a game changer. I'm actually looking to that.
It's huge. And so I think I shared a story with you last time before we got into the episode. I did a workshop at our local chamber, and I had a gentleman come up to me and basically tell me that, AI helped him act specifically, ChatGPT helped him to narrow down a diagnosis for an illness he had had for a very, very long time. The doctors could not figure out what was happening, what it was. He put his symptoms and some more information into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told him, right, this is what 9 times out of 10, this is what it is. The doctors then cross-referenced it, and it was a week from that workshop. He was like, I'm going to do my first treatment. So I wanted to check back in on him just to kind of see how are things going. But
I was actually going to ask that if you were still connected with that, because that would be dope to have him on here on one of the Tuesdays and actually hear his story live on how ChatGPT helped him. That would be dope. That would be dope.
I was just like, oh my God. And he was like, feel free to share the story. He's like, AI, again, when used properly, like any tool, is extremely helpful, and it saved my life. So I'm going to reach out to him, but And
I'm curious though, like why, I never understood that about doctors. Like how you certify, like you spent all this time in school and you finna sit here and tell me you don't know what's wrong.
But I always said these, even before AI, you have to understand, was your doctor at the top of the class or the bottom of the barrel? You don't get grades associated when you go when you go get a doctor. You hope and pray that you selected the best one, but you don't know. And you don't know what type of person they are. You don't, again, it's like with anybody. You don't know if they take pride in what they do or if they just do it just to say I'm a doctor. Or even like the lady that just got arrested in Florida, the nurse that wasn't really a nurse.
How recent was this?
This was a couple weeks ago.
Oh shit! So she walking around that motherfucker with a jacket and everything.
She's been treating people, like a lot of people, with no license.
Oh my God!
With no license.
Oh my God!
So I was just like, well, how did that happen?
How is she, like, did she have her, was it like a small office that she was running, or she was in the actual hospital?
I don't know those specific details. I just know that I'm gonna find the article. Actually it was a reel, and they were talking about it. Because this one lady, she was just like, I'm in charge of checking like doctors and medical professions, certifications and stuff like that. How did this lady get through all of that? Because I guess she had a license and it didn't match her name. She said she was married or had gotten married, but she didn't provide any proof that she had gotten married. So it was just like somebody, whoever that was responsible for that, they were just like, maybe they took an off day. They were in the office, but they were off, but they did not do their job. And they just arrested that lady for practicing medicine. Yeah, without a license.
I don't be understanding people sometimes. I believe at some point, if they not doing it already, they probably gonna implement AI to see if somebody is legit or not eventually.
But you still need human oversight. So it's like one of those things. You kind of, it's a double-edged sword.
Because my thing is, how long was she pretending before she was caught?
Listen, hold on. Because when I saw this, I said, I know you lying. I know. We are lying here. But AI in healthcare, I'll have to, I just liked it too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to send it to you because it was.
Wow.
We'll have to look. Let's circle back to that one, but yeah. Because here's the thing: AI can make mistakes, and so can people.
That's true.
So when you have people and AI making mistakes, how much is that gonna cost you? Right?
That is true. That's a good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have AI in place because you want to go faster. You want to go farther, faster without the people. But then you have people in place that aren't doing their job either.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like there still needs to be some sort of oversight, whether it's machine or human. It doesn't matter. It doesn't negate the fact that somebody has to do something. I'm going to always err on the side of human because I think there are more people that want to do a good job than those that don't. But when you get that perfect storm, right? So you have an AI in place that's going against the rules, or maybe you don't even have any rules set up. Everybody's just running willy-nilly in your organization. What if all those people treated by that lady the nurse that had no credentials sues? Or you have an AI that's denying claims for a certain group of people.
Right. No, that is true. That is true. So really there has to be a balance then. Like if you know what I'm saying, there got to be a balance. Yeah. No, technology can't outweigh, the people, and maybe people can't outweigh the technology because, there definitely has to be a balance there between people and technology.
Man, listen.
Yeah.
There's certain things I'm not gonna leave on in my house, even though I know it's self-sufficient. Like I'm not gonna leave a heater on in my crib. I know it heats up the crib, but I'm not gonna leave it on. Right. Absolutely. It still needs to be some human oversight. It's no different. It's no different. And organizations are getting into a lot of trouble because they're not seeing that. And I'm like really, really, since you sent that video, I'm like, okay, I'm eager to see how else is going to show up. AI is going to show up in healthcare because the state of our governor, the governor of Illinois, just signed a law.
Whatever his name is.
Pritzker.
That month, yeah.
But he signed a law into effect saying that AI therapists were banned, right? And so because you have these platforms that are AI therapists and people, I mean, look, mental health is real.
Yeah, that is true.
And it's at an all-time low. There are more people depressed, stressed out, suffering from anxiety, maybe just because more people are more open about it. I don't know. But you have people turning to a machine because maybe they can't afford healthcare. Maybe they, that's what's available because everyone's so booked up. I don't know, but that's a scary thought. Okay.
So is that that's actually, you think that's a bad thing he did that?
I think it's a scary thought for someone to potentially be at their lowest point and it's between life and death. And they're depending upon a machine to tell them the answer.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same. I can honestly say like AI is cool. It's changed a lot of things in terms of like how we go about life. But like being able to vent to an actual person is not. It's different. Like it's different weight there compared to trying to talk to a machine. It's not the same, and it may not hit them emotionally the way it would if they was actually in the front of somebody that can really feel their pain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A machine can't really feel your pain and your emotions for real. But if you talking to somebody like an actual like therapist, then you know that may change you. You know when you leave that office.
Yeah. And so with that, I'm gonna say it was a good thing. Now I've read some reviews on certain things where people are just like, oh my God, I'm this platform, it was like an AI therapist platform, something like that, or community, right? Oh, I'm alone, I'm by myself. It gives them a sense of having a companion that they can talk to at any time. But I'm like, but you have to understand reality is this isn't a real person, right? This isn't a real person, right?
I just thought of some. Have you ever watched the movie Her?
I don't think so. Wait a minute, what's it about?
It's this guy I talked to. He stay out in Spain. He's he's an AI developer. His name is I think it's Justin Valentine. Vince Valentine. I think Vince Valentine is his name.
Okay.
So Her is a movie, and I think you should check that out because it's very interesting. It's weird and awkward as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. So it's a iOS. It's a iOS that he fell in love with. Now her job is to show companionship. Is to be a companion for you, But he is a guy that works a lot. He may be what you would call a introvert.
Okay.
And she was designed to come off like an actual person. So she would call you randomly throughout the day, ask you how your day is going. Shit, she may even have phone sex with you, whatever that is to make you feel better. But he forgot to distinguish a person from technology, and he really fell in love with his phone, his technology. So when something happened with the towers, or she deleted, she didn't exist no more, and he was having a whole breakdown, like really, like somebody you would think was. If you was with somebody for 5 years, you fell in love with that person, and they left and they wasn't coming back. It was kind of one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like his heart was broke. He was bawling, crying. Like he fell in love with his computer, and it was awkward. It was interesting, but it was awkward. It was weird. I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, definitely check that out.
You know what? I was watching this movie called Atlas with Jennifer Lopez.
That's a fire movie, yeah.
Yeah, but it was the same thing. Like at the end, I mean, to know the story is to know the story. But at the end, she was just like, she poured out her soul and her heart to this machine that really protected her. But it's the same thing. You have to understand that this is a tool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I asked my ChatGPT to do something, and I've noticed a difference in the programming since they upgraded to ChatGPT 5. Like it really does act real bougie and extra. I'm like, okay, ChatGPT, I don't know where you at, but this ain't you.
Yeah.
But I asked it to do something, and I asked it to help me create a landing page. That's exactly what I was asking it to do. And it said, da 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 da, here everything is. You can give it to Rachel, and she can do the marketing thing. And I said, who is Rachel?
Yeah.
Like who is Rachel? And so it came back and said, oh, I made the assumption that Rachel was your marketing assistant. I have never mentioned anything about no Rachel before and having a conversation. So how are you assuming like a real person that I'm going to hand it off to somebody else that's imaginary? Like
right.
People, this is a tool. Not this isn't the love connection. This isn't right.
But they out here falling in love with machines. I'm like, man, and it was so weird because It was a scene where he was having phone sex with the machine,
Are
and
you
I said
serious?
it was they was having phone sex, and it was on this one scene for like 10 minutes, and it was hard for me to it was cringing. I was kind of like rubbing my hand. I'm like, man, this is awkward. This is weird. It's awkward. I mean, I'm not sure how he played this role so good, but it's like that that movie is a perfect example of why it's important to have a person, an actual person involved in certain situations,
Yeah.
because it's guys like him that just he may not know how to do well with women. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we talking about when he got his iOS, he was able to pick the voice he wanted, the personality he wanted it to have. He was really able to create what he wanted. I think her name was Sarah or Samantha. He gave it.
Okay.
She was like, "Look, my name is Samantha." Like he look, this is the person he wanted. So you know, it is really people out here that may not get out a lot,
Yeah.
may not know how to talk to an actual woman, and they turn to these machines, and they begin to build relationships with these machines instead of building that relationship.
Building with people.
You know what I'm saying, with an actual person. So it's very disturbing. It was interesting, but very disturbing.
Yeah. The way that all of this is going, again, and I spoke at a teen summit last Friday, and I was just like, parents, like you, and I've said this, like I said this on our previous episode, parents, you need to be aware of what your teens or what your children, how they're using it. Because I had one young lady say, you know, I use a platform to help me with my homework. I said, does it help you with your homework or does it give you the answer? Those are two different things.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Help you can't negate the learning piece. Like you can't going straight to the answer, you're going to miss the most important lesson that you're going to carry with you for the rest of your life.
Facts.
It's the learning piece. We have to continuously be learning, especially in this environment. Like this time right now is a time where everybody should be learning something.
Yeah.
Like you have to learn about how your world is going to look different and what you need to do to adapt to that and pivot, right? And so,
and most importantly, like when you learn and figure out, because everybody learns different, like figure out what helps you learn and retain the information that you coming across. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think a lot of people is doing that. Like they taking advantage of the technology, and instead of them, I think it's in a sense it may dumb some people down because they not really, it's taken away from the learning aspect of it. And instead of you actually going and figuring out, okay, this is the answer, but how did they come up with that answer?
Exactly.
To the answer, you know. So they, in a sense, it's gonna kill unless it's a you or me. That's kind of like, man, okay, I see the answer, but where did that answer come from? Like, I want to understand like how they came up with that. But majority of the people is like, okay, I just need the answer.
That's it. On to the next thing.
Learn nothing, you know.
Yeah.
You can't. They ain't really learn nothing. So it's definitely about how you use it, for sure.
And it's really critical too. Like I keep telling, you know, parents again, we're pushing our kids to go to college. The college graduation landscape is going to look different when these kids get out of college.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
going to school for things that possibly roles that can be replaced by AI. Like grad students are graduated from college and they're coming into a workforce looking for the jobs that they've been training for, and now learning that, oh, okay, this role is now AI enhanced. Now, I had a conversation with a young lady. She's a lot younger than I am, and she said, well, my generation doesn't have to worry about that because we use AI already. It's like the folks over 40. And I said, well, I'll tell you this. I said, do you want to? I said, your generation may use it and they may use it well. I said, but my generation, like me and up, we have the experience that if we truly tap into that and combine that with artificial intelligence, we can use it strategically. So well and strategically is not the same. We are not the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was no shade. Like, we were having a really, really good and rich discussion. But again, coming out of college, you're not going to have the experience that somebody that's been in the game 15 plus years. You combine those two, now you're talking about something, right?
True. Yeah.
When I'm looking at, like, executives use ChatGPT to create members of their board, so this person can have a discussion before she actually gets into the boardroom with her peers, so she's prepared for the questions that they will ask her if she's trying to pass some sort of initiative. Like, that's strategy.
Yeah.
She's learning how to leverage this. That's how you leverage it.
Yeah,
right?
that's how it's supposed to be used, though.
Use it. You know what I mean? Just because it's cute.
Right? And then a lot of people like to use it as like a, not saying it ain't something to brag about. Like, you know what I'm saying, to be, I guess, informative or knowledgeable about the technology, but being able to use it strategic, that's work in itself, because now you have to understand what place this tool play. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you know, this tool, especially like depending on your life and what you like, how your life is. Now you have to search what tool assists you best, and that may take time. And now that you have your tools, now you have to decide where these tools have to go to make your workflow a lot more efficient. Yeah, absolutely.
Because everyone is not going to be the one for you. Like, there are 20 million tools. People, I'll tell them that I use it. They're like, do you use all of them? What do you know about this one? What do you know about this one? I've heard of them, but they don't add value.
Right. You don't need all of them.
You just need the chosen few. Master them. Once you're on to something else, then, okay, maybe I can integrate something else here. But for me, AI challenges me to think differently.
Right. Yeah.
I may be in a box that says, like, for my business, you know, I said I wanted to become the trusted voice. What does that mean? What does that look like? Right. I can go out and speak at all these seminars and all these other things. But when I put that into ChatGPT, you know, she was like, okay, that's good, sis, or whatever. That's cute or whatever.
Yeah.
But to really drive impact and leave legacy, have you thought about, like, developing an AI innovators hub for children, right? Where kids can come and learn.
That's fire.
Right.
That
have
choice
you
of
thought
words
about,
is fire.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you thought about hosting an AI summit where you have people coming from all over the world, right?
That would be fire.
You know what I mean? So I went from this little bitty box of thinking to saying, because I already, look, if I say I want to go to the moon, I'm going to the moon.
Yeah.
I'm just that type of person.
Yeah.
But it changed my level of thinking, because if a man thinketh, he could do it, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm really, really big on that. And it's like, I use AI to push me outside of my comfort zone. Because what I may think is challenging, someone else may think it's their ceiling. And what ChatGPT does for me, it keeps pushing my ceiling.
Right.
And before I know it, you know what I mean? I've done some amazing things. So, like I said, that's what I use that tool for. Everything else I've learned to help me do those things. But it's like, that's the type of impact that I want to leave. So
I want to ask you a question before we wrap up too. So have you ever noticed, like, a lot of times you could tell if somebody is into AI or not? Like, a lot of times, like, when you speak to somebody, do you pick up on that quick? Because I be picking up on that shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I can tell when somebody's really in it. I can tell when somebody's just trying to flex and say a couple, you know, buzzwords that sound good, that sound nice, because they want to be the smartest in the room. I can tell, even with me, like, I can tell when my conversation makes people uncomfortable and I have to kind of back off of it a little bit. Like, you got to read the room. So,
and that can be because they just don't. They know they're not knowledgeable enough. So yeah, they that conversation, or if you say something about AI, they immediately become uncomfortable. Yeah.
So I watch their body language, their mannerisms, because I really want to understand, like, if you're fearful of it, why?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you're, because that's what becoming a trusted voice means.
Mm-hmm.
You're listening, you're understanding to those like to the people around you to see how you can best help them
Yeah.
understand something. So it's like, okay, what makes it fearful for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then go through that whole journey with them. Like there was an older gentleman that attended. I had 2 sessions, so I spoke for an hour. There were two 30-minute sessions, and he came to both of those sessions. He said, because I need to hear the same thing twice. And by the end of that interaction, I was helping him put ChatGPT on his phone. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So those are the moments, right? Understanding what are the barriers, especially
Right.
for us.
Yeah.
Like, what are the barriers? How are we using it? Are we truly leveraging it? And what can I do to help get you to the other side if that's where you want to go? Or if you want to stay here, then okay, I'm gonna help you.
Yeah.
I'll help you understand what here is and what you need to be watchful of. But if you want to come join us over here, I got you. Like I got you at
Absolutely.
every stage. So
But it's also is absolutely better on the other side.
it is,
Yeah.
and it's scarier to stay over here because the longer you stay here on
Yeah.
this side, the more that is changing, and you're gonna have
You
the
gonna
learning curve is gonna be insane.
It's gonna be different. It's one of them things where I would say it's one of those things where you have to keep up on it. You know,
Yeah,
you can't become too what's the word I'm looking for? You can't become too lost for too long.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because then it's gonna get to a point to where now you trying to play catch up because
yeah,
it advanced so far that you don't even know where to start for real.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it's definitely like yeah, my last thoughts for sure is that definitely AI, stay on top of it, man. Make it a lifestyle to just,
yeah,
and because it's not much to read an article a day. You know, it don't take you a while to read an article. You know what I'm saying? Like just make it a habit to, you know, you can go on Forbes, you know what I'm saying? Like
man,
if you got Apple iPhones, you know, the news apps, you
yeah.
know, it's something as simple as clicking on the artificial intelligence tab, and now the latest news about AI is right there, and you could just read an article a day. If that article interests you, you know, save it and go back to
And I have Google alerts.
it.
I have ChatGPT send me a list of stuff every day.
Yeah,
And partly because yes, it's in my wheelhouse, but that's still, it's a lot of information
yeah,
to take in. So you got to pace yourself. But
mm-hmm.
as long as you do, like you said, one article a day, dedicate 30 minutes, an hour. I told a lady, I said, if X is going to be your obsession, you need to dedicate an hour a day to learning something new about that platform,
Yeah,
right?
yep,
So
mm-hmm.
it's nothing any different than that.
Mm-hmm.
Where you spend your time is what you're focused on. If you spend your time scrolling, then
Look,
that's what has your time.
that's a whole nother conversation too. Cause oh my god, like it's a lot of people that's they messing themselves up with that thumb, man.
Man, have arthritis in their thumb because they're trying to sue
Yeah.
Mark
So
Zuckerberg.
I'm gonna just throw a tip in there before we get off here, right? So a lot of phones have time limits that you can place on your social media accounts. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, I got an hour set on all my social media accounts. So after an hour, it shuts off. Like my phone don't even let me log back into my social media accounts until the following day. And the reason for that is I'm trying to maximize my time. I'm trying to avoid scrolling on social media because I know how detrimental the time is, right? So just think about the amount. I think on average people probably spend about 4 or 5 hours a day just on social media. So if I break that down to an hour, just imagine how much time I got throughout the week to create something, to learn something, to build something, right? And now you put that together, and within a year, look how much you didn't accomplish just off that simple action, right? So if you want to learn something, you know, discipline yourself as far as like the social media thing.
There was, and really, really quick, I was on I joined a mastermind in Atlanta, and we have calls like every day, sometimes twice a day. But there's mindset calls are 2 days a week, and we talked about productivity and productivity hacks and different frameworks that you can use. And so the lady talked about, she focuses in on a task for 25 minutes, and then she gives herself 5 minutes to do whatever she wants to do, and then it goes back to 25 minutes. It's like 25 minutes and 5. And so I say all that to say you are absolutely right, because an hour go by, you're scrolling, and you're wondering where your time goes. You don't have enough time to do this, or if I only had more time, right, I would publish that book. I would blah, 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 blah. But we all have the same 24 hours. It's how we spend it.
Exactly.
And I shared with someone, like, my time now, I frame it as they're little soldiers. Every second of time is a soldier that I'm deploying somewhere to do something. And when you look at it and like that, it's like you have to be protective. Your soldiers protect you, protect your mind, protect your body, your soul, your emotions, and also make you more productive. And so when I started looking at it like that, then when I find myself, I'm like, okay, my phones will be over there. I specifically had this one so I can recall the article, but I put them on the other side of the room because that's just how important it is. Like you said, building a routine without social. Social media is not making us social.
No, it's not like you know what? It's man, we'll be on here all day. Like it's so like I said last episode, I had a whole list of questions. I ain't look at them questions not one time. Like we'll be on here all day, but it don't make us social, because I was gonna go off in a whole journey. That's week, so we gonna go ahead and end this, y'all. Life is good. Life is good, y'all. Life is wonderful. Appreciate you, Tiff. But we gonna, I wanted to throw that in there before we closed out. Life is good, y'all. Life is wonderful. Be blessed to be alive. Self-sufficiency is how you survive. To the kings and queens, to the guys and goddess, forever and always. Think successfully. It's actually.